What was the driver's name? Does anyone
Ichichi.
remember? What?
Ichichi. And I'm gonna
Ichigo.
walk away if you come up with some random fucking
Ichigo.
name. I'm
All
saying.
right, so Cheese and
Ichigo.
Itadori get up.
Cheese.
Oh, Yusuf, where are you going? Yusuf. What did I say? I said his name, right?
Sure.
Oh,
Cheese.
so
He's not a fucking cheese.
All right, we're live.
It's not the
Yay.
Joshua tree, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You should have worn that on last week's podcast.
Oh, for that reaction. That
For Cromartie, yeah.
That very sad episode where we had to finally say goodbye to Cromartie. I know we're still upset about it. We actually had to take a vacation to Florida to kind of think about it and remember all the good times we've had with Cromartie. Right, Mitch?
As you can see,
right, Mitch?
As you can see,
right forehead.
Mitch missed Florida so much that he brought a little bit of that sunshine back.
Yeah, I
in
brought the sun with me.
So, Jesus Christ.
There we go. Okay.
On this week of this episode podcast, we are talking about episodes 9 through 12 of Jujutsu Kaisen. And I gotta say, I knew what was coming up, but holy nutsacks, I almost cried again.
So
because it is so fucking traumatic what happens in episode 12, which I'm excited to talk about with Josh. Right, Josh?
Exactly. I have so much to say about that episode.
Yeah,
in particular.
Josh's reaction specifically for that episode,
Mhm.
since he's the only one that has not watched this anime so far. So
That's correct. I'm the only one who hasn't seen that episode.
So wait, what? Josh,
Well,
are you trying
before
to?
now? Well, before today.
you
What are you trying to say?
You did watch it today.
Oh, he did watch it. He's just trolling. Okay, so I think what's important is that we just skip the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, I think
just
we just go
start
straight
with
to
the
12.
fourth one.
Straight to
So
12.
I want Josh's clear-cut reaction to this. Please start us off with episode 12, Josh, in the fucking mall. Oh, bye, Josh.
Bye, Josh.
Oh, no, Mitch, you're now Josh. Never mind. Lied. Fooled you.
I looked even more yellow with that fucking yellow back.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
All right, but for real, the one person we were excited to get their reaction of episode 12 fucking didn't have time to watch it because he is a adult human and he has a busy thing doing. So busy, in fact, that he has to hide it from us and from the world.
In 2.5 weeks.
Yes.
I got things I gotta do. I try my best to squeeze in the time that I had. I got through 9, 10, and 11, but not through 12.
Well, just so you know, Josh, my disappointment is immeasurable right now.
Well, you sound miserable, so I'm a big fan of that.
Mm-hmm. But I guess we should get started with episode 9. I'm not entirely sure. I just watched these episodes like probably 2 hours ago, and I don't even remember how they're all structured because they all mesh very well together with each other.
I think 12 opens up with Junpei either at the movie theater or getting bullied by those kids and that girl.
The night opens up with him getting bullied for eyeing up or not
apparently eyeing up that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so who is Junpei, but the guy in our background for this episode podcast, who's a new character that we got did we get a teaser to him in like episode 8?
Yeah, so we saw him in the movie theater and then we saw him like confront Mahito in the alleyway, and then that was it.
Yeah, so that kind of continues off from where that left off in episode 9. So in the movie theater, Junpei is just watching some stupid slasher film, and there's the 3 like the Winklins. I said that word wrong. Let's move on. And they are just making a bunch of noise, being super annoying and shit, skipping school. And this cursed spirit then just comes out of nowhere behind them and just tells them, "Hey, shut your bitch ass up," and transform them.
Doesn't come out of nowhere. Like when Junpei's buying the tickets, you see Mahito walk
The
like
thing
Mahito
I'm
walks in.
confused though about that is that Junpei's in the movie theater with the three other students, and the cursed spirit like appears behind them, kind of making it look like they're being like transformed into there. I don't know if he like made himself smaller and just transformed from there, or he was being born in that movie theater. I was kind of confused how that was structured.
So
When Junpei was buying the tickets, we see Mahito walk into the theater.
mhm.
So he was
I
he was in that theater already.
I think what that was supposed to like signify is at that moment, Junpei could see curses. Like that, he awoken the ability to see curses at that moment, and Mahito popped up
What, just buying a? Oh, I see what you mean. He
because
didn't
he was getting
did
so mad in the
he
theater.
didn't see him when he was buying the ticket. Is what you're
Yes,
saying?
yes.
Okay.
I think he was getting so mad in the theater that he got so pissed off that he was like something triggered in his brain where he could see Mahito now.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, that really confused me. So,
yeah.
what is his name? Margarita.
I mean, close enough. It's mojito. It's the same as an alcoholic drink. So
So yeah, Margarita is just like, hey, shut your bitch asses up in the movie theater, and dude, Margarita's like cursed power is like my worst nightmare,
it's
because
disturbing, man.
what he does is like he like touches like the person's soul, and with touching the soul transforms their body and into these grotesque and just non-viable living beings anymore. So after the Margarita touches the three students, we cut to the crime scene with all three of them just completely just have long ass faces. Their eyes are just bleeding out. It's like, Jesus, dude.
Yeah. So
Jujutsu Kaisen doesn't play around, dude.
what Mahito's his ability is we kind of get more in depth later, but I think it's important to talk about now. Is he'll touch someone's body, and then because he says that souls create the body that they reside inside. So like your soul is the reason you look the way you do. So he morphs people's souls into these distorted, disturbing things, and that in turn morphs their body into these creatures. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
And you already mention that the souls like look like these little crystal things, I guess?
Yeah,
Or
that's what a soul is. It's like a black crystal
hmm,
or whatever.
which
So
I mean, I guess in context with everything else, it really doesn't matter so far. It seems like it's only unique to Margarita, or
yeah.
the only time it should matter for anybody.
Yeah.
But then Junpei catches up with Margarita in the alleyway and is just like, "Hey, you did
So
that.
Did that?
How the
can
hell?
you
I
can you
thought what
teach
you
me how
did
to do
there."
that?
And then Junpei has flashes of them bullying him, and
Man, I fucking feel so bad for this kid.
dude,
He
dude,
gets it's relentless,
I
man.
know, I feel
Feel
I feel
so bad
super
for
bad
him.
for him. He is
His rhetorical question
That was savage, dude.
in the very beginning of episode 9 is like, if you could push one button and kill
Oh my
everyone you
God.
hated, or he's like, if I had that button to kill everyone I hated, I wouldn't push it. But if I could kill everyone who hated me by pushing that button, I would push it.
That was fucking
So
yeah.
was that
well,
Margarita that said that, or
No, it
that
was
was
Junpei.
Junpei,
mm,
not
Yeah,
Mahito. It was
he
Junpei.
said he doesn't want to kill the people he dislikes. He would rather kill people that dislike him, so his life would be easier.
mm.
Which is just sad. But like no, his one line when while he was getting his ass beat, where he was like to the girl, "You're not as hot as you think you are. They're just doing this so they can all bang." I was like, "Holy shit, what a
Junpei
savage!"
is definitely a savage. Even like
Yeah.
within the eyes of the bullies, he definitely just doesn't hold back. He
Mhm.
always talks shit back, or he stands up for his fucking movie on the ground. That must have
Mhm.
been Cromartie or something that the bully was crushing, because I don't imagine anyone sacrificing themselves for another movie than
Also
that.
Yeah.
feels bad for this guy because yeah, he was beat up like pretty badly, but I mean they made him eat like weird shit, eat bugs and cockroaches, and then we find out that how his hairstyle is like off to the side, that was covering up burns on his forehead, and I don't know if those were from students or something
Students.
else,
It
but
was
They're all
from
from
it was
students.
from the
Well,
bullies when he was telling that one bitch that she's not as hot as she
she's
looks.
not as cute
which
as she thinks she is.
we find out later, but that's why he asks his mom to quit smoking, because he's scared of cigarettes.
Mm.
So, which is just
So
the kid
you
is
put that
so
stuff together, yeah.
yeah, that kid is so like I feel so bad for this kid, man.
Why is
Yeah.
the stream frozen?
And then I guess also we find out that the teachers are just completely ignorant and unaware of what's going on when the teacher's like, "Oh, those guys were your friends, right? They used to always keep you company." And as a viewer, you're watching, they're like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You think they're friends?"
Still stuttering. Now it's back to normal. Yeah, so don't open your browser.
Okay, so I am not gonna open my browser again. I'm gonna keep that shit closed.
Yeah, okay,
So
we're good. We're good.
so I'm gonna trust you guys to keep track of that then, because I'm
All
not
right.
gonna be able to watch that. So back to it. Where were we at? I think I don't know if we have to repeat everything we said before. I think we should start off where Mitch was ranting about bullying with Junpei.
I was just saying how bad I felt for the kid. Like, should you want me to talk about how that like my real like the real life stuff I was talking about?
Yeah, just go for that rant
Okay,
again. Now that
so
we're in
I was
better quality.
every time I see bullying this extreme in any kind of media, I'm like, that didn't really happen, because at our high school, I feel like our senior class was very good at nipping that stuff in the butt, and like that stuff never happened in our high school. I've never heard of it happening in any high schools in our city. But when I watched it, I'm like, holy crap, stuff like that actually did happen, and I feel so bad that there are kids out there going through that level of torment every day they go to school, and it just breaks my heart when I watch that kind of stuff.
Especially like some of the teachers just
Mm-hmm.
turned a blind eye to it because they don't want to deal with it. Like that fat sack of shit teacher just kind of walked away, and then I think Josh mentioned that he was completely oblivious to the fact that they weren't friends, and when he met up with
He
Junpei,
thought
he's
that,
like, "Go ahead."
yeah, he
Yeah, I
thought
don't
that
know
they
if that was
were
just
all.
like a play on like him, because he peeped in the window, right? Like they
Mm-hmm.
made it very obvious that he saw what was happening. So
Yeah.
was he either just like ignorant to the fact that they were bullying Junpei, or was he trying to be the cool kid that he wasn't able to be when he was in school? I
I,
don't
I
know.
I don't think he was. I think he knew 100% what was happening. Like, there's no
Yeah,
doubt in my mind he knew what was happening. And I don't think he was
right.
trying to be the cool kid. I just think he doesn't care enough to get involved, and he doesn't want to work that hard. He's like, it's happening, whatever. I'm just gonna do my job and go home.
Yeah.
But then you can say the scene later when he's at his house makes no sense.
Well, I think
Yeah,
it just shows
he like threw some
how.
shade at him, saying that like
Mm-hmm.
he like these people go through school to be teachers, and then they go straight into work as teachers. Like they
So
go through school and they put themselves right back into that situation, so they don't really experience what the outside world looks like. Like I don't
yeah.
really know what that was suggesting, besides like he's ignorant to the reality of what people go through because he never
Well,
had to
Well,
experience
I
it. I
would
don't know.
say it just
well,
shows how oblivious the teacher is too, because he's just trying to be kind of like a mentor figure to him or be an adult figure to him. He's like, you gotta go back to school with all your friends and stuff, but he's not really taking it serious at all, or he's just a complete doofus when it comes to his position.
yeah. I think what Junpei was saying when he was saying that the teachers go from school to school is that if they had a good experience in school, they will assume that every other kid is having a good experience in school because they've never known anything else. Like they know nothing else but what their own what their own school experience was and is. So a lot of teachers are really bad at handling kids that get bullied when they were never bullied in school because they don't know how to deal with it. So, but yeah,
Or that
Junpei is
he's, or that like Junpei is baffled by the fact that his teacher can't comprehend that they're not friends, that they're bullies. Like, if you just got out of school and you know what school is like, and now you're working in a school, how are you not aware of how shitty it can be?
Mhm.
How could you be so oblivious?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah,
so
like Junpei ends up being scolded by the teacher for not attending their funeral, even though they probably wish that Junpei was dead long ago, many times over.
hmm
So
and
like he
also
gets
those
chastised for nothing.
other bullies were pretty much the main reason why he stopped going to school. That's why he's able to go to the cinema and watch all these movies and stuff, and he just doesn't go to school anymore. He just can't take the bullying anymore.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So then do we
We'll talk
jump
about
to
how Junpei was being mentored by Mahito. And we kind of talked about like what Mahito does, like his whole philosophy on like the soul and stuff, like the what comes first, the soul or the body. And he says it's the soul and the body takes the form around the soul. And so
Mhm.
that's how he manipulates, does that idol transfiguration or whatever.
Yeah, he just
base
kind of flicks the crystal, and then they just turn into grotesque beings that
Yeah.
he wants them to be with his curse energy. So he shows Junpei later some examples of, this is one I made really big. This is what that I made itty witty witty, and it just shows how many like experiments Margarita has done on countless humans, and these aren't cursed spirits; they're legit humans that have been transformed and these into these like projectiles and shit, and that
Yeah.
he uses as weapons later on with other sorcerer that we'll talk about later.
So this is why, like back like in episode 1, I talked about how I thought the curses were humans, because I thought they were all humans, because I didn't, with my first watch through, I didn't realize that this was Mojito's special ability. Like I thought all the curses they fought were humans, but they're not. There's emotions from humans. These curses though are legit humans.
Mm-hmm.
So
Are they even considered curses anymore, or at all?
I don't think so. Maybe probably
I don't think
not. But
they're not considered curses. I think he could just manipulate their physical forms just because of
mhm.
his ability. Because he himself is he's a curse, right?
Yeah, he's a
Oh.
curse.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh,
just an extension of his ability.
something
And that's how
we
you talk about how he was manifested.
yeah. So something we learned, I think in episode 10 or
And
whenever he's
It was
fighting
still 9. It's not
well, it
really.
doesn't matter, but the volcano head is the curse of land, the octopus is the curse of seas, and then the like the tree one is the curse of the forest. Mahito is the curse of human like emotion. So he was formed out of humans hating other humans.
And like
Where
fear, right?
yeah, like yeah, with negative human emotion. So he is like the negative curse. So
So after that whole fiasco in the theater, we cut to Itadori with Gojo be introducing us to the new sorcerer that Itadori is going to be chilling with. Does anyone remember his name?
and
None of me.
I know Nanami Kento. Yeah.
Yeah, so goggles. He uses what?
Just
why
say
are we letting
Kento.
him lead
Just
the
say
episodes
Kento.
like
Just
this?
Kento. It's
Oh,
like Kanto,
sorry,
but it's like Kanto from
Nanami.
Fucking
Pokemon, but
Nanami,
with an
dude.
E.
sorry,
Nanami.
sorry. Goggles is the bad one. He's the salary man, right?
True.
X.
So ex salary man,
Dude,
perfect.
his introduction was so funny. He's like,
That's like the
it,
best part,
it's always
dude.
He's
like,
great.
but you didn't want to be a sorcerer in the first, like, because sorcerers were shit. So I went to the company
No,
world,
no. He
and
was
then I
like,
realized that was shit. So I came
I
back.
went to school. I
He's like,
passed. I
and I
became a
put those two
sorcerer.
together. And which one is the worst shit between the two shits? And it was the former. And here I
Yeah.
am.
Well, he's
I
just
love
like
that mentality,
he
dude.
was
It's
just
so funny.
like, I'm just gonna do the thing I'm better at, So
Mhm.
that's why I'm a sorcerer right now.
I didn't
Um,
realize how much I liked him in my first watch through, but I like him a lot more this time. He was really funny.
he is just a man of just fact. He doesn't care about feelings or anything
Mhm.
like that. Even though that's kind of like a not entirely true when we find out later with his fight with Margarita. But yeah, he starts off like, "Oh, you're the Akuto Matata's vessel, all right," and then they have a pretty cordial greeting, and then um, Yeah, he pretty much just goes on a rant saying like, I do not respect you. I have no expectations from you. You are a child, and I will look after you. So please call me if you ever need help. Okay?
Yeah, I liked how Itadori understood that he was very strong because he made the very clever observation
Oh
that
yeah, yeah.
as long as he has his eyes covered, that he is
He must
strong.
be strong.
Mm-hmm.
Hence
Which,
the goggles nickname.
but then they investigate the theater and they use some sort of like sense to be able to track like curse energy, which
Yeah.
leads them to like a rooftop.
Residuals.
So Kento is like, yeah, any curse ability leaves a residual like residue. So he's like, you should be able to see it, and he can't see it. Then he like just focuses really hard, and he can see it.
He just uses
So
his eyes, you know. Just use
He
your
goes
eyes
on and he
for
like
it.
not only shits on him, he's like, well, if he were a better sorcerer, he'd be able to sense it before you can see it.
I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah, it hurt my brain. But then they come across the what they thought was two cursed spirits. So we find out like Accelerator Man goes through like his entire like gimmick and his old curse technique and stuff. He just uses like a butcher's knife that's like covered up, but he's able to like calculate the ratio of like the body and like appendages, and based on a certain yeah based
L
on this
plus ratio, dude.
ratio, he's able to find like a critical point within either the cursed spirit or whatever he's fighting, and is able to do like a critical attack onto him. And yeah, he's able to kill like cursed spirits or whatever he's fighting with just like the back end of a covered butcher's knife, which was he cut off like four legs
Four
off
legs.
the monster he was fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're introduced to Itadori's cursed technique, or is it even considered a technique, or is it just a
It's a
fighting
technique.
style?
I'd say, yeah.
It's a technique, but he does it on accident. Like he doesn't actively do it.
Gojo like gives it a name. I forget what it was, but he gives it a name. So I would say it's
what did he-
Divergent Fist.
Divergent fists. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's a really cool name.
Mm-hmm.
it looks cool when Itadori is using it, but it takes him a little bit to charge it up because he's not used to channeling his cursed power just yet. So
Well, the whole gimmick of his technique is that his body moves so much faster than his curse technique that he punches first, and then his curse technique punches afterwards. So he gets two punches in one, which is badass.
yeah, but if anyone's confused why he doesn't use that right at the start of any fight, it usually takes him a second to build it up because he's not experienced with it just yet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Itadori punches the monster he's fighting, and not only does it hurt, it also blows it up, or blows its heart out because of the cursed energy. And they later find out that they're humans that they've killed from the the doctor.
Well, Salaryman takes a picture of the arm that he cut off, and it shows up in the photo. So he's like, "Wait, these guys aren't curses." So they call the doctor at the school and like, "Yeah, they're humans."
The doctor specifically points out that like the transformation of Margarita turning them into the cursed beings that they were, the shock of that transformation killed them. So they were already dead when Itadori and Nanami, I guess, finished them off, quote unquote. So technically Itadori has not killed a human, but he says that it's like their deaths still weigh on his brain or something. But yeah, like I guess it's important to say he technically did not kill a human.
Who the fuck is Margarita?
Yeah, the fuck.
It's gonna be a long podcast.
It will be if the connection keeps shedding out on me.
Looks good so far.
Yeah, we're good. We're still good.
Do you think that's actually true though, or do you think the doctor was just lying to Itadori? Because we see in the later fight with Salaryman and Margarita that that's not entirely true.
I don't think it's true. I think she just said that. I think she said that because there's no way to save them, so they might as well already be dead.
That's fucked up, man. That's really
Yeah,
messed
I think
up.
really,
I
really
think
messed up.
that it's kind of hard to say because she specifically asked if Itadori was on the phone or if he could hear her before she even said that next part. So whether or not it was for her to console him or because it was a fact, I don't know if
Mhm.
if we have enough info to decide if it was the truth or not. I mean, they were still talking, so was that just reflexive? Were they already lost, or like, well, I don't know.
The other curses, like the actual curses, still talk too. They say what they were
Yeah,
doing, like
Mm-hmm.
receipt and smells and stuff. So
right.
I get the
Yeah,
pro. I
because
get the
when Mahito when he has a fight later on and he's using those people, like they're still talking, like
yeah.
they're crying, they have
Mm-hmm.
emotion.
One
So
says
are
help.
they really dead?
One says help me, help me.
And well,
Like,
and the fucking thing is like its body's like over here, and it's like entire head's like stretched out like a tree trunk, like across like the sewage pipe,
Hmm.
and it all you see is like its face is draped out like a fucking rug, and it's just like, oh, that's good day, and it starts crying, and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
holy
Oh,
shit.
what?
I think that
Tears in his
doctor is
eyes.
full of shit. There's no
Yeah.
way this thing is dead. This
Yeah.
bitch is 100% aware what's going on. It is
Yeah,
just
because
a fucking tree trunk
yeah,
right
I
now.
mean, and Mahito says that earlier on when he was still discovering the like how to use that ability, like he was killing these people, but
Hmm.
then after some time he learned
Yes.
that he
Yes.
could transform them without doing that. So I mean, it could very much be alive. He could have been doing that on purpose. I don't know.
I think the ones that Itadori and Nanami fought were probably dead already. But like Yusuf said, the more Mahito practiced, the better he got, and he was able to keep them alive as he transformed them. So the ones that Nanami fought in the sewer were probably still alive, but the ones him and Itadori fought probably weren't.
yeah, because like you said, that one was saying help me, whereas the ones that they fought on the roof were saying like bad
Detergent.
detergent
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I forget what the other one was even saying, but like
Oh,
some of the
lunchbox.
things we've been lunchbox. Some of the things that we've been hearing from other cursed spirits, where they're just like freaking
Yeah.
detergent.
Yep.
So, what else happened in episode 9? We pretty much get the introduction of Margarita and ex Salaryman and Junpei, but I'm not entirely sure what else
I think
happens in that episode.
I, I think they get assigned to the mission, right? They split apart, and Nanami goes to like he knows it's bait. Like the reason they saw those residuals and fought those two non-human things. Like it was for a reason. It was just bait. So he
Yeah.
was gonna go take on the person that set them up, and then Itadori was gonna go with. Oh man, I don't even remember that guy's name, but he's in every scene, and they always walk over him, and I feel so
It's
bad
like
for him.
is it Ishiji or something?
Ijichi,
Ishiji.
Ijichi,
Ishiji.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
He's like, you
I
two
like him.
go and get Junpei, and I'll take care of this. And I don't know if I was at the end of 9 or
I
in
think it
10.
was, yeah.
It's all like Trav said. These episodes flow so well together.
Yeah, I'm looking it up on my phone right now. I'm just kind of going through episode 10 right now. Episode 10 is when Salaryman fights Margarita, and we're introduced, or Itadori is tasked to, track or follow Junbei. And pretty much what was the driver's name? Does anyone
Ijichi.
remember? What?
Ijichi. And I'm gonna
Ichigo.
walk away if you come up with some random fucking
Ichigo.
name. I'm just
All
saying.
right, so Cheese
Bleach from
and
Ichi.
Itadori get up.
Jeez.
Yusuf, where you going? Yusuf.
Isaac.
What did I say? I said his name, right?
Sure.
Oh,
Cheese.
so
He's not a fucking cheese.
you gotta pull fucking.
Jesus, dude, that's
You gotta pull
freaky
shine of
problem.
his schnoz, dude. All right.
Oh my god.
So
Oh God.
if you want to make sure your nose is clean, Yusuf, you just gotta zoom in there.
Oh, give me shit, dude.
Oh shit!
Fucking got some gold in there, bro.
All right, but got some trees on there. So the plan is, Salaryman knows that Margarita's setting a trap for them, so he tells Itadori and Cheese to go follow Junpei and get information out of him. So let's just talk about Itadori and Cheese following Junpei. So their plan is that they're going to use like a lesser grade spear or curse.
A curse that isn't even like equivalent to like 0.1 of a like a curse power or whatever.
Yeah, really weak ass spirit, and
more of an annoyance than any real danger.
So their plan is there's a bunch of different outcomes, but based on the outcome, either way, Itadori's gonna beat the curse or whatever, and they're gonna figure out what they want to do with Junpei. If he's just a random witness, or he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, or he's actually part of what happened in the movie theater. And well, Cheese, there was two like those small
looking over to your side.
There was two like
Looks over to the
shitty curse. Cheese, Robert, cheese. So there was two cursed spirits or whatever in the cage that they brought with them, and both of them got loose. So Cheese is busy catching one of them with a fucking bug net or whatever. And
Come on.
Wait, first spirit? What?
You didn't see that?
A bug net?
Yeah, he's just fucking chasing it like, no, get back here. We only get to see it for like... Yeah, so then Itadori catches the curse, and well, before that happened, the teacher that we mentioned earlier was sitting outside Junpei's house, I'm guessing, and was like, and he was like, oh,
yeah, sweating his fat ass off. It was like us and Disney, dude.
Yeah. Dude, my first playthrough of the anime, I didn't even know that was Junpei's house. I'm like, where the fuck? This dude just randomly was sitting, just chilling on the fucking doorstep.
Yeah.
Hey, you haven't been back to school, Junpei.
Why didn't you go to the bully's funeral?
You guys were friends, right? And then Junpei just has like a inner like crisis, and he's like, I'm about to fuck this bitch up. He's about to like do whatever, like Naruto shit with his hands. And then that's when Itadori comes in and catches the spirit like a football. And then the teacher's like, hey, what are you fucking doing here, man? You're not supposed to fucking be here right now. And then so Itadori decides to distract him by fucking dropping his pants and running away with them.
It was so fucking weird.
He was like, yoink!
Even Junpei's just like standing like, what? Just
what the fuck is going on?
Oh,
and the teacher's on his ass. He's like,
don't do it! Don't do it!
And then he's just running down the street.
I thought that was going to pan out. I definitely didn't suspect. Oh yeah, Itadori will pants this freaking old fat dude.
I love Itadori.
That's how this will go.
I love it.
It worked though, and then he pretty much just ran around the block really quick to catch up with Junpei.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's like the Flash, and then he's just like casually like, all right, let's go talk, man. Two bros shooting the shit by the river. So yeah, they go talk, and then
talk about movies and talk about.
Well, pretty much, Itadori just kind of straight up just says like, yo, you know anything about that theater dude? After trying to contact Cheese like 20 times, but he's still trying to catch him with the fucking bug net. So, yeah. Then Junpei and Itadori kind of start bonding a little bit over movies, because just conveniently Itadori's been binging a shit ton of movies, so he can actually...
For his training, yeah.
He can actually hold a conversation with all the shitty movie that Junpei has watched. And then the mother of Junpei pops up the top of the stairs and is like, Anna, Anna.
Mommy. Sorry, mommy,
So
dude.
some
Oh
this
my
is a bit
god,
of
I was
an
in love. I was
Yeah.
fucking in love with that
I'm
woman.
sure you would like her when she was cut in half. What?
Spoilers,
Hello?
dude.
What do you mean?
Christ.
What? You want some ice with that margarita?
Yeah. Straight up.
Dude, she was fucking.
Ice
I
packs
have
for your
a-
intestines.
I have a question that's a bit of an aside at the moment, but if I'm remembering correctly, Itadori and two others were part of like the occult club or
Mhm.
something at their
Mhm.
school, right? Okay. See, because I got mixed up and I thought that he was also a part of a film club, and then I was like, are these the same? These aren't the same people from
No.
his club, right? And so yeah, I got very confused. But then
Just forget about the occult club. They don't
They don't exist anymore.
they're not special
Yeah.
anymore.
I'm still
It was
surprised
it
that we
was
never
it
went
was a
back to
similar
those.
theme. Like they were both into creepy
Yeah.
things,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
scary
And
things.
honestly, it might have been the exact same room, just with the different characters animated in. I'm pretty sure it looked really similar.
Well, it's
I
a
think it was
standard Japanese high school.
Yeah, I think it was a
So,
different school altogether
it
too.
was a different school. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Itadori and Junpei bond. Mommy Junpei shows up and she's
my
like,
God.
Ara, Ara,
Fucking.
Itadori-kun, come to the house. We're gonna have some dinner. And then, yeah.
You get the scene
Did
with,
you
like,
miss Itadori's pickup line? How he got invited to dinner?
tells her
uh,
that she doesn't look like a woman that should be holding a green onion.
What
I
does
don't,
that
I don't know what the
mean?
fuck
I
that
didn't
means.
get to what that meant either.
Those green onions don't suit you.
I don't get what that meant.
I'll look it up quick.
Find out
I'll-
yourself.
But we also got this. We also got the scene where Junpei. We realized that Junpei doesn't like smoking. He's like, "Mom, I told you to quit smoking,"
In front of me, at least.
and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I won't smoke in front of you anymore."
And obviously, that's because of all the cigarette scars or burns he has on his forehead now that he covers up with his hair. And it's like, it's not like one or two. It's like,
It's like
bucket.
7
It's
or
like,
8,
it's like
yeah.
8. It's like,
Yeah, dude,
holy
it's bad.
shit.
Yeah.
Those guys did not fucking. I think they made him eat that cigarette butt too.
Okay, so if you want the explanation, it's a Japanese stereotype where moms typically buy and cook with green onions. So if you see green onions in a woman's shopping bag, you can assume she's a mom. So
Oh.
Itadori is being like, "You don't even look like a mom," and she's like, "Ooh."
There's some brownie points for you.
He's
Bro, I was-
flirting with a MILF.
A fucking MILF, 100%, bro.
Well, bitch, just say
That
that
was-
line
that
at the
was-
bar.
Meanwhile, Junpei is just sitting there going,
I was in love with that woman. Bro.
Bitch, I can't tell if you're blushing or you're just naturally orange.
bit of both. Maybe.
Probably both, dude. I honestly, I was like, "Fuck me." I wish I was Junpei. Wait, never mind.
No.
Never mind.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I meant to say
Oh, bro.
Itadori. Fuck off.
NANI?
Oh, dude. I meant to say Itadori.
Oh,
Okay.
my
Sorry.
word.
Nope.
Yikers, dude. Jesus Christ.
So, all right, Mitch. We get it.
Jeez, Mitch.
Let's not talk about your fetishes here. But moving on, we cut to the house and they pretty much have a good time shooting the shit. They have dinner. Junpei or
That's a good
Mama,
reference.
yeah, Mama Junpei is loving the interaction with Itadori.
Call her
He's
mama
just
at this point.
yeah. So mommy
Drinking beers,
fucking just slam the beers. She passes out, and then they have Itadori and Junpei have kind of like a one-on-one talk. Like, so you're a sorcerer, right? You're gonna like think you can actually kill people? And Itadori's just like, yeah, I don't. It scares me to think about that because if I kill somebody, I don't think I'll be able to distinguish good people between the people I actually care about.
Mhm.
It'll just become
And-
a gray for me.
And he says once he kills someone one time, that opens up that opportunity for him every other time.
So it'll just get easier and easier
Mhm.
for him to kill other people.
And then we also found out in earlier scenes with Junpei and Margarita that the one person that Junpei truly cares about, and well, really the only person he cares about is Mommy. So
Mhm.
after that interaction with Itadori and Junpei, he leaves the house, and pretty much the next like jump cut, we find out that the mom fucking dies after finding one of Akuna Matata's fingers on the dinner table after she woke up from her drunken stupor.
Did they ever tell us, like, were they ever like blatantly obvious of who put the finger there? Because I think I know who, but I don't know if they ever like told us.
100% it was Ghetto, man.
Yeah, it was
Rat.
Ghetto, 100%.
Definitely Ghetto.
Yeah.
He's the only one that has the fingers.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
It was
Ghetto. I thought Ghetto gave the finger to Margarita to plant it there.
Well, yeah,
Just
Could
so
be it,
the
too.
clash between Itadori and Junpei, because Junpei is kind of in like a gray area right now. He doesn't know where he wants to go. Like he already has like some cursed power to him, and that's been accelerated through Margarita's like techniques and like teachings, or he's pretty much given Junpei steroids pretty much with cursed energy and shit. So he's able to be pretty much a sorcerer right with only like less than a couple days of training or whatever.
Yeah.
But then we should cut to the fight between Margarita and Salaryman, where we see the tree trunk lady, which is just fucked up, man. I didn't like that at all. And we find out one source of Margarita's like weapons, I guess, is just a bunch of just raisined fucking humans that
He just chucks
he
them at
froze. And does he transform him like mid-flight or something? Or
I think so.
Hmm.
It's just
Probably something like that.
the whole fight is just disturbing, bro.
Well, and
'Cause
then
he's just chucking humans at fucking Nani Maste. I don't know what the fuck his name is.
Naname.
Naname.
okay.
Anime.
Naname.
I like it. I liked the idea that so he's like a businessman, right? He has like the whole suit attire and all that crap. He's like, I work 9 to 5. That's it. 9 to 5:30. He's like, I'm gonna wrap this shit up in 30 minutes and I'm fucking done. I don't care.
I punched in at 10. I'm punching out at fucking 6. And sure
And then
enough,
he's like, all right, oi. I'm going overtime right now. And he just
motherfucker,
powers
it's
up.
6 o'clock, bitch. He wraps his tie around his
We'll get
hand.
paid extra for this.
When that episode happened and it like cut off right there with him saying I'm gonna work some overtime, I was like sitting on the couch, just watching it on my phone, and I started like laughing and clapping because I was so excited for the next episode. And I was like,
This
what?
episode.
What? And I was like, shit's going down.
He's working overtime.
It's fantastic.
Make some money.
Fantastic way to like
So
end off the episode.
that's like an actual like technique that Salaryman uses though, because
It's
it's a pact he has with his curse energy.
Yeah.
So
he's
he
like
does
able to restrain himself within.
Well, he's not at full power until he goes overtime, pretty much. So as soon as it's past 6 o'clock or whatever time he fucking punches in, I guess I don't know, does he like put all of his like curse energy into his like tie or some shit and then wraps it around his hand and is able to fully use it? It's a little confusing.
Maybe his tie is a symbol and it's like a collar and it locks it in place. So when he undoes the knot a little bit or takes off his tie, he's no longer restrained.
Yeah, it's all a little confusing. All I know is that his normal attack is super precise and like dialed in, but this attack is super risky and just like expansive and just blows the crap out of whatever he's aiming at. Like he took down the entire wall with this attack. So
yeah. So after fighting Margarita for a while, he deduces that Margarita is kind of like a child, like cursed spirit, and he's kind of on like the same level as the lava dude and the other ones that Gojo has fought. So they knew how to use like what is it called? The space? What was it called? Domain. Yeah, they were able to use the domain. So he was worried that if this child's curse was able to learn enough or fight enough, that he would also be able to use the domain expansion, and he would be just another huge threat against pretty much the world.
Yeah, I think the two most important things we learned in this fight is that one, Mahito is like a young spirit who's not even close to his full potential yet, and
Mhm.
2, he learned that he doesn't need his physical body. He can transform his soul into whatever he wants. So he's basically unbeatable.
I think he learned that in that fight, right?
He did, yeah, he did. After
By losing.
Salaryman was that bad. He's like, you know what, you're gonna die. I'm gonna leave. If we ever meet each other again, let's fight again. And he walks away, and the things fall on him. He transforms into that snake, and he realizes, holy crap, I don't need this physical body anymore. I can transform into whatever I want.
Yeah, I can transform my body around my soul however I want, can survive even though I'm being pulverized by all those rocks that Salaryman
Mhm.
used as kind of an escape for
I was
himself.
like,
But, you know,
I
that
can fight
didn't,
my own crystal.
yeah. And, I mean, Salaryman also took a big hit too.
Mhm.
He was just in the he was just in like a public bathroom, just kind of bleeding out of his side, just getting some tissues and shit, just cleaning it up, you know. Not the most
Well,
sanitary place to do it, but
so here's the question I have about that, because Mahiro's touch turns people into those disturbing creatures. He
mhm.
touched Salaryman on the stomach and like sent
He used
something.
his. So I was thinking. I remember we were missing something. Yeah, one thing we also found out with the fight with Margarita is that sorcerers can't easily be transformed because
Oh, okay.
they use their curse energy to protect their soul. But not every sorcerer can do that because they don't. They're not aware of like their soul, so
So
they
you
can't
have to be
protect it.
aware. Okay.
So
He said that
people
Nanami was
like.
doing it subconsciously, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. He
Mhm.
said
didn't do it.
all sorcerers protect their bodies with cursed energy by default, but most of them don't ever think about protecting their soul or even can. But Nanami was doing it subconsciously. That's why he survived, and then that's when he was like, if I touch you 2 or 3 more times, you're done.
Mhm.
Oh, you're not gonna be human anymore. And then, well, later on, we find out that Itadori just kind of does that natural as Akuna Matata's vessel.
Well, it's
And
because
plus, he's.
Kumatana stops it.
Mm-hmm.
Kumatana's like, you want to touch my soul, you little bitch? I think not.
Listen,
You
man,
wanna
we're
flick
hanging.
my crystal? I think
We're
not.
cool right now, but you kind of fucked up. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
Don't ever touch me
We,
again.
we both talk shit about Itadori. You're cool, but you're fucking stupid. You better not do that shit again.
You dumb, stupid face.
Doofus.
L plus
Fucking
ratio.
sketcher ass looking.
No
But
maidens.
no bitches. But I believe that was pretty much it of episode 10. We had the fight with Margarita and Salaryman and Junpei and Itadori getting to know each other a little bit more. So then we move on to episode 11. Is anyone familiar with this one? Because I don't fucking remember anything.
Honestly, I feel like they're all like bleeding into one another.
Yeah,
Like you
it's all
said.
pretty much one big five episode episode.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like we've covered most of 11. It's just
Mhm.
how 11 ends
Yeah.
after his mother is, I guess, like bit in half by the demon the curse that's attracted to the Sukuna finger that's left at his house. And
Yeah,
yeah,
because
I was under the impression that Margarita left the finger
yeah,
there so that Junpei would be super sad and then be driven to get revenge. Because by talking with Itadori, he was even more on the fence of whether or not he even wants to do any like bad stuff to people. So I think that was like the big push in the quote unquote morally wrong direction.
Yeah,
When they did the finger reveal, I initially was trying to remember how many fingers that Itadori ate so far, and is it three? Is he had three?
I think it's 4.
Because he
I
had
think
the initial one to have that transformation, then
Gojo
Gojo
gave him one.
tested him, and then it happened in like that prison where Sukuna ate the
Sukuna ate
third.
1, and then this was the
Mm-hmm.
4th one. Well, he hasn't
He
eaten this one
He
yet
hasn't eaten
either.
it. It's just the fourth one that's shown
So I
up.
guess, is it only 3? Really?
And
Yeah,
that Itadori's eaten at least.
and they left it there for the school to recover, so it'll probably be four soon. I don't
Mhm.
And
remember.
um didn't they say that like they have more of Sukuna's fingers? They just didn't want Itadori to eat them all right away or something.
I think Geto has a few of them, We found out
Well,
when they
I also think the reason they kept the fingers too is that they're kind of like a magnet for other cursed spirits, so
Hmm.
it'll make it easier for them to find other fingers with having multiple fingers themselves. They were just testing the waters with Itadori and seeing how much he can handle. But I took a quick glimpse through episode 11, but it seems like the whole talk with Mami and Junpei and Itadori, that's all that episode was.
Yeah, because I was gonna say episode 10 and 11 is split with Margarita fight.
Hmm.
Like it starts in 10 and ends in 11, and then the rest of 11 is Itadori at Junpei's house.
Yeah. The initial meet of Itadori and Junpei was 10, and then
Mhm.
11 was them interacting with each other and becoming somewhat fast friends.
Yeah.
And then we find out that Mommy dies to the finger, which you've already mentioned, and
There's still half of her left.
death by finger.
she is dead. She is dead as shit. So
Rest in
Junpei
peace, Mommy.
finally snaps, and with really, he just finds a fucking black leather jacket in Mommy's closet. It's like, what the fuck?
Mommy's jacket. Here we
He
go.
just puts on Mommy's
Complete
jacket. I'm like,
transformation.
yikes. All right, cool, man.
Completes the transformation into an edgelord.
I didn't own any black clothing, so I stole my mom's jacket.
I stole my mother's jacket, and yeah, so they were having like a ceremony or whatever at the school, and he shows up, and
Dude, this episode is so
What
fucking
even was that about? Like some sort of writing competition?
Yeah,
or
there's some
something?
writing competition, I think. I don't know.
I
like
thought he was going to like her funeral, and that's why he was wearing the black clothes.
No, he was going
He's
like on
trying
his
to fuck shit
he was
up,
going on
yeah.
his vigilante phase,
Edgelord.
So the whole so we should cover the bullies real quick with Junpei. There was a total of 4 dudes and then like the one girl. We don't see the one girl anymore after like her initial scene and shit. The 3 of them died in the movie theater, but then the last one, which is like the main baddie who like beat the shit out of him like initially for like standing up to him for stepping on like his DVDs and shit. His copy of Cromartie the movie. He's the one that's winning a award for the writing competition that he had some other fucking student write for him.
Mhm.
So then Margarita like uses like that whole like veil thing to cover up the school, and inside the veil like pretty much all the students pass out except for the one teacher and the bully. So it seems like whoever Junpei doesn't like or doesn't like him or whatever.
Mhm.
So everyone passes out except those 2, and Junpei goes into the gym and tells the teacher, "Hey, bro, watch this shit. It's about to go down. Get this in your brain and memorize
This is when
it.
this is when we
Josh,
see
you
this
remember
stuff.
any of this?
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah,
explain how
This is at the end of episode 11.
That's the end of
Yeah,
episode 11.
just
I
trying to
remember
remember
all of this.
So Josh,
So
how
shows
does
this
12
bur-
start?
Well, he shows the burn scar
Well,
to
we
the
didn't get to
teacher at
finish.
the end of 11, and then before we start roasting Josh, how does he actually like have these powers suddenly? Like, I know you were saying that like
They were awakened
Margarita
by.
showed him or whatever, but like, how did this?
Margarita's
even
been
happen
like
so quick?
enhancing. I'm assuming Margarita's been
Margarita
like
gave him his special
injecting
seeds.
inject. Okay, what?
What?
What the seeds threw me off, dude. So
Really?
pretty much, Margarita's been given seeds, given his seeds to Junpei, and that's been enhancing his curse power and his technique. And it seems like so Junpei's whole curse technique is using a Shinigami just like Megami, but it's like a one individual one. It's like a giant jellyfish that uses poison.
Mhm.
So the main bully, gets stung by Junpei and like gets all these splots and stuff like half over his face and stuff, and then he just starts kicking the shit out of him on the ground, and he's like, "You better watch this shit, boy. Were you the one that left the KFC finger on the table? Did you do that to my mommy? Look at this jacket. It's my mommy's jacket." And then
Like-
Itadori busts into the gymnasium like, holy shit, Junpei,
Wait.
that's a cool fucking jacket. Also, what are you doing?
Nice
Yeah.
jacket.
And that is the
Nice
end
coat.
of chapter
Yeah,
11.
he was
Or,
getting ready
episode
for
11,
the
whatever.
choke slam on the guy. He's like, "Did you do it? Yes or no?" And he's like, "Yo, what the fuck you talking about?" He's like,
What the
"Yes
fuck?
or no." If you say it doesn't matter. If you say yes or no, you're still fucked. So was
And
it
then-
yes or no?
But then he just says, "I'm sorry." Junpei's like, "Bitch, I don't want your apology. You can't.
Sorry and what, bitch?
You don't have the right to answer my questions with your questions." And then
Look at my
Itadori
big
compliments
jellyfish.
his jacket. And then we cut to episode 11, the fucking tearjerker.
Episode
Josh,
12, you mean?
why don't
Yeah,
you start us
episode
off?
11, where
Episode 11,
Mom-
where
Mommy
we
dies.
where
and-
Mom
What I
dies
meant to
and-
say was episode 11 plus 1, that episode that Josh fully watched and fucking cried at, right, Josh?
It was a real tearjerker because, once Itadori compliments Junpei on his coat, he's like, man, this was my mom's. I just lost her. And Itadori's like, dude, I know how hard loss can be. I lost my grandpa. They have a really nice conversation. It all gets resolved peacefully. There's no fighting involved. Because who needs that? The teacher
Josh.
apologizes to Junpei
Josh.
for being such an asshole. The bully apologizes.
Has
to
a fucking
Junpei.
seizure
Josh,
and dies
Do
on
you
the
know,
ground.
Josh? Do you know you're actually like pretty close to
Yeah.
some parts of what
Mhm.
happened in.
Well,
Not-
that's because I watched it.
Well, I mean, not entirely. I really don't think Itadori brings up his grandpa at all in this
does.
episode 12. I think he's just kind of bitching out Junpei like, "Why are you doing this shit, man? you have a
in
life.
11
What are
in
you living
11,
for,
Itadori-
Because
in
Itadori,
episode 11,
go ahead.
Itadori mentions that he doesn't know his mom. He kind of remember his dad, but
But
he
his
only had
grandpa
his
was there for him.
Mhm.
We
in
found out
11.
a little bit more.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Side-
So yeah, just to summarize everything gets resolved peacefully. There's no need for fighting.
dude, I fucking hate it.
And,
I honestly wanted to skip
Margarita's
this
like, you know
episode,
what?
just like Josh
Just
did.
that's how scared you were about the emotional damage it causes.
Dude, I wasn't scared. I was just fucking sad what was
It's
coming up on
it's
this
so
episode. It
fucked.
is because this entire time on Jujutsu Kaisen, they fucking have Junpei in the intro and like the outro and shit. And so
Mhm.
like they make it look like he's gonna be part of the squad, but Itadori and Junpei fight and they're fighting for the school and Junpei's doing okay enough from like his no experience fighting and Itadori's
Did-
most likely holding back.
Do they explain why Junpei's poisons didn't work on Itadori?
Not
Was it
yet.
'cause Sukuna?
They explain it in the next episode. But
Oh,
if
they
we
do?
wanna
Okay,
if we
okay.
wanna spoil it, Itadori is Akuna Matata's vessel, and what is Akuna Matata like? The thing like negates
he's the-
everything, or
He's the king of curses. Yeah, he's like the most powerful curse in the world.
yeah. So poison doesn't affect Itadori. That's why.
Okay.
Just because he's Akuna Matata's vessel, but pretty much after hitting some blows with each other, Itadori realizes that he's pretty much just saying his like opinion on everything, but he's not even listening to Junpei. So he just takes like 2 stabs from Junpei's jellyfish, and he's just like, "I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to you. What happened?" And he's just
Yeah, 'cause-
being
'cause-
completely real with Junpei.
'Cause during the whole fight, Junpei's whole like philosophy was that there's because Junpei couldn't understand that if humans had hearts, how could someone kill his mom? Like
Mhm.
he was like, if I want to believe that humans are good, then that makes no sense why someone would kill my mom because she did nothing wrong. So
He
in
was
his
saying-
head,
Yeah, go
go
ahead.
on, no, you go for it. Go for
No,
it.
you go ahead,
I
Josh.
remember he was talking about with Mahito, like this whole synonym antonym type of thing with love and
Indifference.
yeah, indifference. And I think that has to do kind of what you were saying, like if everyone has a heart and that same heart can love as it can hate or something, like how can Itadori want to save people indiscriminately while those
Mhm.
same people can indiscriminately like
Kill
hurt people
yeah.
that he cares about, like his mom.
Yeah, so he was just like, if someone with a heart and soul can kill my mom, I don't want to believe that anyone has a heart, because it would just break his mind in half. Like, he wouldn't understand how someone could do that.
Yeah, he's pretty much just
So,
trying to justify
cope.
all his actions by, yeah, I mean, that is definitely a source of coping, but he's just trying to believe in all of Margarita's like teachings that he's been pretty much feeding into Junpei this entire time. And Itadori just pretty much lays the facts out to him. And I don't really remember what Itadori says to him to kind of get his mind working, but ultimately he convinced or nearly convinces Junpei to come to Jujutsu High, and he's just like, "Listen, man, you come to
One was
Jujutsu
so
High,
precious.
we can team up, we can all come together, and we can figure out who got your mother killed by this cursed spirit. Like, I promise you that." And as soon as that happened, and Junpei's like starting to like, kind of go on our team a little bit, that's when Margarita enters the fold and pins Itadori to the wall. And fuck!
Dude, Itadori's like Junpei. Itadori's voice actor in this episode was so fucking good. Please, like, he's just begging for Junpei to run. I was like,
I don't know
I'm gonna
what your
cry again. Bro.
I don't know what your relationship with this guy is, but please, for me, just run right now. Get out of here. And then Junpei's just trying to like, calm him down, like, don't worry. Margarita's a good guy. And then as soon as like he realizes what he just said, he's like, wait, he's not good. He's bad. And like as soon as that he realizes what he just said, like Margarita's hand like goes over his shoulder, and then he just starts like fucking talking a bunch of shit to Junpei's like, you're exactly as everyone else. You're just out for your best interests. And as soon as that happens, he fucking, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
He turns Junpei into a monster.
He's like, and that's why you have to die. And he does the idol transfiguration, and then he turns into what's that one thing from Full Metal Alchemist, that
the homunculi or
he turns into like a homunculi looking head ass.
He turns into the cart titan.
Yes,
pretty much, a small blue version of it. And he pretty much, well, Margarita then commands Monster Junpei to attack Itadori, and he's getting a lot of punches in because Itadori doesn't want to fight back, and he gets him in a headlock, and then he begs Kuna Matata to, I'll make a pact with you. Just do whatever. Just please turn him back. I will do whatever. You can do whatever you want with me. But and then Sukuna pops up on his cheek saying like,
starts laughing.
Ara. You realize he really doesn't know we've already had a pact together. So then he's just like,
oh, that's right. Because
psych.
Because part of the pact was for Itadori to forget.
Yeah, so that's why.
Yeah, I also forgot what the initial terms of the pact were. Like how does it start? Like how do they switch?
I think, right?
After he says like some sort of after he says like a phrase or something, without any hesitation, Itadori's supposed to give up his body for like 10 seconds, a minute or something. I don't really remember.
A minute.
But the additional part of the pact was Itadori will forget that they had a pact. So now Akuna Matata can pretty much spring it on Itadori whenever he wants to now. But the whole motivation with Margarita turning Junpei into a monster was to pretty much get Itadori in this position to want to form a pact with the Kumatana without already not knowing that they've already formed a pact. So now he's confused. But yeah, both Akuna Matata and Margarita both start laughing maniacally at Itadori because he's completely powerless to stop what's happening with Junpei. And then after a little bit of more laughter, Junpei succumbs and dies right there.
He just looks up to Itadori and he's like, why? And then he just dies.
Yujiku, why? And you have tears going down his face, and it's just like, motherfucker, dude. I wanted
emotional damage.
I wanted to skip this episode, man. This one was fucking
like,
hurt.
oh, what? He died already. Oh man.
Dude,
and then
this
Yuji
is
just fucking loses it.
like I love it because this rarely happens when a show introduces someone so quickly and they have the balls to kill him off like that in like 2 episodes. But they did such a good job to make us care about this character so much, and we're like, because like Trav said, he's in the intro. He's been in the intro since the first episode.
Yeah, so we're expecting him, and
We're
now
expecting
that
him
we
to
have
be
to
part
see
of the
him,
team, and then we're just
He's
like,
shown as like the fourth member of the
yeah,
first class.
mm-hmm.
and then we're just like, he doesn't even get to meet Nobara or
Megami,
Megami
or even Gojo.
Gojo.
He fucking
So
dies in the
fucked,
school
man.
as soon as we think he's going to turn to the light side or whatever.
So fucked.
He fucking, dude, so brutal, man. Like
Mhm.
it's been a while since like a show's like actually like made me like feel super bad.
Mhm.
You know, aside from Cromartie with Takanuchi always getting this shafted. You know,
How
Mitch.
dare you compare Cromartie to this? Brilliant.
And why
This
would
is
you
a
say
brilliant
Takanuchi?
episode, man. This is a brilliant. That's like one of the greatest anime episodes
Mitch,
ever.
I have
and you're
to
gonna
come
compare
somehow.
Cromartie to this?
Mitch, I have to come somehow. Junpei's fucking
Like,
dead.
what the
He's
fuck,
fucking dead, man.
bro?
I need to remember some good thing that happened.
You have to let Trav cope. No, this is copium.
Yeah.
But dude, the line Yuji said after this gave me chills. I was
Mhm.
like, holy shit. So one thing I love about JJK is that they make their protagonists look like the most crazy, demented motherfuckers in the world, and they make their antagonists look like some peaceful, like happy-go-lucky guys. Like that scene where Yuji's just all white and you can only see one of his eyes, and like flames are going around him, and he says something along the lines of, "What I said next made me question everything I've ever said in my life as a lie," and he says, "I'm gonna kill you." I was like, holy shit, dude. Because his
Mhm.
whole mentality is, I'm never gonna kill someone. So
And
everything he
That was
said,
part of the
then
conversation they had back at late Junpei's house.
yeah,
He's
I
never
was
had to
just
kill
like,
anybody, and if he was in that situation, he wouldn't want to because it would devalue human
mhm.
life.
mhm.
It's just fucking
But then we
brilliant, man.
get kind of a short. Well, we get the introduction of the fight with Margarita and Itadori, where we have such the fucking most satisfying goddamn headbutt I've ever seen in my life. Like, so Itadori gets thrown out of the school, and then Margarita was experimenting with like his like combat abilities with transforming his body parts into like drills and like knives and stuff. So he's shooting like his arms as like projectiles at him, and Itadori catches like the string that it comes out, like looking
Oh
like
my god.
fucking string
So
cheese.
cruel, man.
And then uh
Part of like that extension, like the
yeah,
little string spikes emerge out
he
of it and
shoots
pierce
spikes
Itadori's
out, and
hand
yeah,
grip.
Go through his hands.
And then
and
what you would normally think that someone would just let go of that, Itadori just fucking is like he just like pulls him
he's so
out of the
fucking
building.
mad, and he just yanks on that shit, just
Yeah.
blood spurting out of his hands and shit. And then not only that, he gets like he was about to get a couple more blows on him, but he ends up just punching like his shirt off or something, and Itadori ends up getting like stabbed through the chest like 3 times.
Yeah, like
And then
4 holes in his chest.
yeah, and then he tries Margarita tries using like the idol transformation on him, and that's when Kunomata is like, "Listen, bro, it was cool and all that we talk shit to Yuji, so I'm gonna let this one slide, but get the fuck out of here,
Try it again.
you
Mhm.
dumb,
Yeah.
He's like,
stupid,
"You're
dumb,
like a slave."
stupid." Yeah,
Mhm.
and then that's when Itadori just grabs onto Margarita, just fucking headbutts him, not once, not twice, like 3 fucking times. And then
Oh
just
my
starts
God,
punching
dude.
the shit out of his face and stuff. And right before the Margarita was about to do like a killing blow on Itadori, that's when Salaryman hops in for the save. And then he's just like, "Update. People are passed out in the school. I'm talking about you. I have a couple holes in me, but I'm fine.
Mhm.
You're not fine, but
And then it pretty much just cuts there.
Oh
well,
no, and then he sees
the nose bleeding.
Mahito is like bleeding from his nose. He's like,
Oh
"Well,
yeah.
what the fuck's going on there?"
Hold up.
He's like, "Yeah."
I punched him.
Yeah. How the fuck did
He's
that
like,
happen?
"Oh, shit."
Wait, what? Excuse me? Yeah, I punched him. Oh, well. So I guess Salary Man
he's like,
can't really do the killing blow on this guy, so it's kind of up
he's like,
to Itadori.
he's like starting to strategize. He's like, well, they couldn't, they haven't killed Itadori because they either can't or they need him alive. So they're gonna leverage that. And what was his name again? Nanami. He's gonna, I don't know what his role is. Like he's gonna try to hit him as hard as he can. They'll try to coordinate their attacks to do some damage and just kill him right there.
He's gonna get Itadori an opening to finish off Margarita, pretty much. That's their plan, but that is going to have to wait for episode 13.
I think this episode is up there with like Demon Slayer season 2 episode 10, like Hunter x Hunter Meruem versus Netero. It's up there at like probably top 5 favorite anime episodes of all time. This is fucking brilliant writing.
It's a
so
fucking
good,
brutal one, man. It's just
So
holy
good.
nutsacks. This whole time you feel so bad for Junpei, and you feel like he's finally gonna go somewhere good. He just gets fucking shafted again, man.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't get a good ending here. He starts off shitty. He just dies shitty. It's fucking brutal, man. And I don't think I ever want to watch this episode again. To be perfectly honest,
This is top 5 episodes of all time for me.
I definitely never want to watch this shit again, just because it's so sad what happens with Junpei. It's such a disappointment because just the potential we could have had with Junpei in the future of Jujutsu High and everything. It's
brilliant writing, man.
They were just like,
brilliant.
Here you go. And
that's what I like so much about JJK is it's a shonen, but it's like if this was Naruto or even Hunter x Hunter, it'd been like, yeah, Junpei survives, happy ending. But JJK
they find some way to like turn him back and shit. But I'm just gonna spoil things. He's fucking dead.
Fucking dead.
He is fucking dead.
So good, so fucking good.
Yeah.
So, will I learn more about Geto in the future? Because I couldn't tell. Is he supposed to be like stronger than Margarita?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so then if you were saying that like Margarita is like the curse of humans hating humans and he's like super powerful, Geto's even
Geto's
better.
not a curse.
Geto was Gojo's classmate.
Yeah, he's an evil sorcerer. We find that out. Do we find that out?
Line like across here.
You learn a lot about Geto in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
In the prequel.
I don't know if we find out a lot about him later in the series.
No, you learn basically nothing about Geto in the series.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, well, right now Geto is definitely stronger because Margarita is still a baby fucking cursed spirit.
Geto is on Gojo's level. We'll just say that.
So they were both classmates, but Geto turned to the dark side.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I guess as their
he's the one that wants to only have
the OnlyFans.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear what Yusuf said because Draft said OnlyFans.
He's the one that wants.
He has one.
That wants only sorcerers alive, right?
Yeah, he doesn't want any regular humans alive. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But ultimately, I think that's just about it for these episodes for JJK, unless anyone has anything to bring up. Like, Josh, how do you feel about these episodes? Especially episode 12.
Oh, that one.
Dude, that's brutal, man.
Such a good episode, man.
So I'm not trying to talk shit to you, Josh, but that's disappointing that you missed out on episode 12. That was we should have highlighted that you should have seen that one, so we could probably take some of the blame for that one.
I got home as quick as I could and I started watching, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to finish number 12, and then I had a feeling that it was gonna be.
Dude, I would 100% told you to skip like fucking 10 or some shit, and then just go make sure you see 12 because that was the big one.
I'm still gonna go.
That was the money shot. Yeah, but you already know what's happening.
I think 12 is by far the best episode in this series, by far. Like, maybe not fight choreography wise. There was still a really good fight in this episode.
Well, like dramatic,
the emotional
effect.
impact of this episode is so strong, so strong. Nothing
I
even
think
comes close in the show to this.
that's the key, because a lot of the fights and story in JJK is really well done,
Mhm.
and we're gonna get a lot more.
There's 2 really good fights coming up. Yeah.
I
Where
really don't think there's
I think
that bad of a fight in the show.
Mhm.
I think pretty soon we'll get intro number 2, right?
I think after episode 13 we get it.
Yeah.
We're hitting halfway, so I'm
Mhm.
excited to hear that one.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately we are done talking about JJK for this week. So, with that being said, we are going to be ending this episode of This Episode Podcast. So, whoever hung out, thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it. And yeah, we are going to go fucking cry ourselves to sleep. So, yeah, roll the outro.
On the next episode of This Episode, Trav, Josh, Mitch, and Yusuf discuss episodes 9 through 12 of Noragami. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss any new episodes. You can catch our podcast live every Monday night at twitch.tv/DutchRead. And as always, thank you for watching.